Hello, and welcome to one of those segments I promised long ago, did a few times, and then forgot about because life happened. This being the one where I review games that are being sent in my email, usually by viewers. That being said, this one was rather ominously sent to me by Vital Shell Game. However, looking on Steam, it's actually MarvinWizard, which I only have to say, MarvinWizard, you really gotta give yourself more credit. I didn't even know you made this game. I had to find it myself. Now, Vital Shell is apparently a survivors-like, but I don't know what that means. I don't really understand what a survivors-like is. So, for me, it's basically an auto shooter, which means that you really don't have any participation when it comes to firing your weapons. Instead, that's automatically done. You use one joystick to basically avoid anything coming at you, and that's it. Now here you can use the second joystick to sort of aim, but the firing is still automatic. I'd like to see it where if you move the joystick, it fired in that direction, basically making the game into a twin stick shooter, but right now it's just what it is. Usually I do not like games like that, but for some reason Vital Shell really ticked all the marks for me. I played this game nearly 4 hours somehow, and it's just a demo with one map and one mech to play with. Not only that, but the enemies are very basic and they're just heads or goop piles and eyeballs, which isn't too bad since this game is trying to hark back to the age of PS1 and Sega Saturn graphics. I'm going to just say Sega Saturn because I love the Sega Saturn for some reason, and that just gives Vital Shell a few more brownie points, I guess. I think what got me about this game is that it has a lot of really good mechanics under the surface. Some of it's roguelike where you get upgrades after every single wave. There's also a decent amount of weapons to play with that all seem to function differently and have different attributes to play with. But I think the most unique part about this game is the fact that you can get gems that let you upgrade and manipulate certain abilities for your weapons. At first, they're pretty simple, but when you mix and match them and fill up all the gem slots, you get a special function. This can be throwing down spores that explode, or having explosive balls around you, or it could be something like dropping gravity wells that suck in enemies, or light wells that help you heal. It's very diverse and there's tons of things to play with. Not only this, but there's a devotion system which basically rewards you for replaying over and over again and allows you to collect special items such as new weapons, abilities, and gems. At first, it's kind of mysterious what works and what doesn't, but there is an in-game guide that includes in-game achievements that hint towards the sort of combinations you can do. Eventually, you can just destroy everything on screen. Like, you can become unbelievably powerful, and it's very satisfying when you finally get that set of upgrades you really want for all your weapons, and you just go crazy on everything on the screen. And it's because of that addictive simplicity that this game is so replayable, and I really think MarvinWizard has hit the mark on this sort of style, which is why this game really is an exception to the rule for me. I don't usually like games that have auto shooting, and yes, I still do suggest that maybe MarvinWizard works out a way to make it more of a twin stick shooter because I think people would just like that more, myself included. In fact, they're very open to feedback and even include a section to provide that within the game itself. Updates have been very frequent since I started playing this demo. As of now, it's had a lot of balance updates, additional inclusions of enemies, tons of things since I first played the game. It is a little easier than when I first completed it, and this footage is from the most recent update. In all honesty, for a game that's obviously made by probably one person, I have to say I'm really impressed, and I'm really excited to see the full package come out. MarvinWizard, for the love of God, please give yourself credit in the emails, and don't give up on this game, because if this does come out the first quarter of 2026, I really do want to get a copy, and I want to do a full video on what it has to offer. Thank you for sending it my way, and thank you for watching.